forecast from the Hip Radio Network Weather Center. A mix of clouds and sun today with daytime highs approaching 85. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 64. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Mainly cloudy tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 86. Low 80s Wednesday with a chance for scattered storms. Mid 80s, sunny skies Thursday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 63 degrees.
Broadcasting worldwide from the Ashby Real Estate Broadcast Studio. This is Hip Radio Network, Georgetown, your hometown station.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The switch is on. Welcome to Good Morning Georgetown with Rob and Ken. Waking you up in the mornings and getting your day started with the hottest hits, news, and jokes. Get ready. And now here's your hosts, Rob Hip and Ken Covington.
Happy Monday morning, Georgetown, Texas. Welcome to a new week and a new edition of Good Morning Georgetown here on Hip Radio Network Georgetown, your hometown radio station. Appreciate you joining us today. Waking up this morning, a little bit late, but I'm going to tell you, getting up this morning is a little bit muggy outside, and today it is going to be hot for April the 20th. We are going to get up to around 86 degrees, so get ready for that. It is going to be a warm day here in Georgetown, Texas. Every Monday, I'm joined by my good friend and one of the best business owners in Georgetown, Texas. And his company has the logo to prove it. Back in 2000, when was that, John? The Small Business of the Year Award?
2018.
2018, Small Business of the Year in Georgetown. And that is a tremendous feat because, John, we talk about, and of Robert's Printing Company, and we talk about, man, I want to say, I'm just pulling a number, but we've got to have, I would say, over 1,500 businesses of all sorts here in Georgetown. Do you know the numbers on that? I'm not sure.
I think it's quite a bit more than that. I think the chamber has that many businesses in it.
Yeah, so there is a lot of companies here in Georgetown, and that is a very distinguished award. And so for all your printing needs, Robert's Printing, located right on the heart of Georgetown, down on the square, man. So, John, how you doing this morning, brother?
I'm doing good. It's funny when you said located because I actually used the pizza place across the street, 600 Degrees Pizza, as a landmark. You know, we've been here for 75 years, but the pizza joint that's been there for 5 years is my landmark.
That's right. So whenever people say, where's 600 Degrees at, I tell them it's across from Robert's Printing. It's near Robert's Printing. You know. Hey, Sammy, if you're listening this morning, we love you. I hope everything is going good with you guys and the marketplace over there downtown. And hopefully we can get back to business here pretty soon. I know that Governor Abbott has put together a plan to kind of reopen Texas, if you will. And, John, I just don't know what that really means, though, to be honest. I've looked into it a lot, but, the kids aren't going back to school. We already know that. They're going to finish out the year at home. And, man, that's got to be tough for the seniors, John.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one of the biggest things, something you never forget, is that day you walked. And I don't know what they could do, if they could do it like drive-in style where everybody just pulls in and, somebody gets out of the car, goes up and walks across, and people honk or what, but there should be some sort of recognition for that feat they've accomplished. I mean, it's been a long time. Yeah,
there's been a I guess like a change.org petition circulating the internet. Of course, the UIL, Charlie Breidup lives here in Georgetown. Great guy, our director of the University Interscholastic League for the entire state of Texas, lives right here in Georgetown, but they made the executive decision just to cancel everything for the rest of the year as far as UIL goes, which is, in a way, it's understandable because what are you going to do? You're not in school. The teachers aren't there. The coaches aren't there. There's still a lot of these stay-at-home orders that are in place. So there's been a petition, though, and in a way, John, it makes a little bit of sense. Now, I don't know the inner workings of the UIL. I know that they work really hard. There's a lot of things that they do that's way over my head, and just the logistics of all the schools in the state of Texas. You think about every town in the state of Texas, John, and I take a guess. How many How many schools do you think, how many high schools especially, John, do you think there are in the state of Texas? I have no clue. What would be your guess?
Definitely more than 10.
I'm going to look that up. And if you've got an idea on Facebook this morning, why don't you tell it? Now, I've just pulled it up here, and I had no idea it was this many. So I'm going to tell you, if you take a guess this morning at how many high schools, just an estimated number, how many high schools that we have here in the state of Texas. And that is what the UIL, and we're talking about, there's also junior high stuff, but really at the high school level, that's what the UIL has to juggle every year. We're talking from, 1A, 6-man, all the way up to 6A in those districts. So just take a guess on Facebook this morning about how many high schools do you think that there are in the state of Texas alone, and that is what the UIL has to work with every year. Going back to the petition that's circulating right now on change.org, they're trying to raise 10,000 signatures. I think there's already 8,000 on it. But there's some folks and some parents that have started this petition, and they want the UIL to start all of the spring sports later on in the summer so the kids still have an opportunity to play. I just don't know how that would work, John. What are your thoughts on that? We're talking about baseball that normally starts last month. I mean, we get a little bit going in February, of course, but then normally the heart of it starting in March and then, of course, through April. They're wanting to see those sports pushed into the summer. How do you think that would work, John?
I don't know, but you got to think a lot of these kids are going to be going off to college or, preparing for college. A lot of them start heading out in early August. And, I mean, the sports could overlap into that time period.
Yeah, and I'm looking here. I'm trying to find this again. I wish I wouldn't. I get tagged in a lot of stuff on Facebook, and I don't mind that, but sometimes it overflows my news feed with a lot of different things, and so I'm really careful. I untag myself a lot, not to offend anybody, but there's just things that it just starts taking up your news feed. I think there's a security setting where you can change that. Because there's some folks that go on Facebook Live all the time. They tag me, and I'm like, that's cool, but that's kind of spam. That'd be like every time I go live, John, I tag you in a post. Hey, John,
I thought you did.
I'm gonna utilize. Well, of course, when we go live when you're on the show, but I mean like every single morning, So I got to figure that out. And I'm not trying to offend anybody, but it's kind of spamming. I started this Georgetown, Texas news and events group on Facebook, which I'm really thankful for. And if there's some of you from that group that are watching this morning, we want to welcome you in to Good Morning Georgetown. Good to have you here on the show. But that group has been specifically set aside, John, as you know, for news and events in Georgetown or related to Georgetown or of Georgetown interest. And we had a post last night. It seems like a nice guy, and I told him I would allow it this one time. I don't want to be like that type of moderator, but let's be honest, when you start allowing people to start posting so many things, it just gets spammed and inundated. It's kind of like growing up when you did pick up basketball and all of a sudden, you tell your buddy about the court and then his buddy goes and tells his buddy. And whenever it used to be 5-on-5 and everybody could play, 5 games a night, now you're only maybe able to play one because half the town is showing up to play pickup basketball. You know what I'm talking about, man?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I told him, I said, I'll allow the one post, but we really want to keep this focused on Georgetown in the group because it just gets spammed. And so I'm cool with businesses right now, especially if they've got a need or they have a service. I said, look, if you want to post it once in a while, that's fine, but we don't need to tell everybody every single day about everything that you're doing in your business. We'll allow you to post a couple of times, but we got to keep it real, man. We don't want it to get spammed. And here's the thing. I like Spam, John. I grew up eating Spam. I like it. What are your thoughts on Spam this morning?
I'm out, bro. I'm out.
You're out. No Spam and eggs, dude.
No, sir.
Oh, man. I remember one year my mom dyed the Spam green, and it was like green eggs and ham or whatever, the Dr. Seuss. But it was she dyed the eggs green, but we didn't have ham, so we had Spam. It was green eggs and Spam. Boy, you put that on a skillet, brother, and you fry that up. Oh, man, it's so good. And then you're sick.
I'll believe you on that one.
And then about an hour later, you're like doubled up with a gut ache, and you're like, why did I eat that crud, man? Hey, Matt McRobert joining us. Matt, are you in Australia, man? I think you're still here because you told me last time you couldn't get back home, man. And so I hope you're doing okay, buddy. Looking forward. He's the kicker for Sam Houston State. I've talked about Matt on the show a couple of times, and I got to know him broadcasting for the university there. John, he was telling me, he got stuck here. He wanted to go home and see his mom and dad. He can't do it.
Well, my fiance has some friends that went on a trip right before everything happened, and they ended up getting stuck and getting quarantined into a hotel for, I think, 2 weeks. So they were doing Facebook Live, quarantine in a hotel, day one, and just being silly. So at least they made the best of it.
Did you see the video? There's a video circulating on the internet of this guy who was cutting his hair with these old school shears. Did you happen to see this?
I did not.
I was worried that the guy was going to cut his neck. It was these huge shears. And I don't know how to describe it other than it had like a little metal so it would go back like a spring. So he was using one hand, cutting his hair really fast with these shears. He had really long hair. He was an older gentleman. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's going to Van Gogh himself in a minute and cut his ear off. He was just chop, 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 chop. I got to find that video. Hey, we want to welcome everybody in from Facebook Live this morning. If you're listening on the app, we've got quite a few listeners as always. And boy, I'll tell you, we've been really blessed here at HRN as our listener count and all of that on the app is growing as well. We averaged about 4,000 unique listeners last month. And so if you don't have the app, download it because we play a really cool blend of country, pop, and rock music during the day. We're also bringing on some shows. Tomorrow we're going to have James Chapman on our show. He'll talk about a new show that he is bringing to HRN that will debut tomorrow night called Transformation U. That's an hour-long show that will happen 3 times a week here on HRN on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 1 o'clock. The show during the week, though, on Tuesdays and Thursdays will be at 7. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. So you want to make sure you've got the app especially because if you're on the go, and the deal is you can put Facebook on in the background, but if if you're on your phone and you close Facebook, you can't hear anything because it just stops. And so if you've got the app, you put it on the background and you're out moving around, you can hear what's going on. So we're going to keep you up to date. John, no guest today. We decided when it's John Montgomery's on the show, no guest. It's just enough to have John on, right, man?
I don't think anybody else wants to get up on Monday morning. Is what you're saying.
So we got John on. Hey, I've been. There was a time in my life where I didn't want to get up in the morning. And I'll tell you, man, when you're in the zone of your passion and doing what you love every day, it almost kind of feels – I want to get to the point, John, to where it feels like the first day of summer every morning. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what. When I would say 10 years ago, I couldn't fall asleep, but I'd be able to sleep until I was done, until noon or whatever. And then, in the last few years – I can fall right to sleep now. I'm able to shut up my brain and fall right to sleep. But morning comes, it's like, click, I'm awake. I can't fall back asleep, and the day's starting whether I want it to or not.
Yeah, it's it's weird, man. For me, I try to get in this routine, and it's really hard. It really is. I guess just with the type of things that I do and my brain always going through ADD, man. But I'm really trying to develop the self-discipline, and I talk about that on Good Morning Georgetown quite a bit. I'm trying to develop the self-discipline, John, to where I'm in bed at a regular hour every night because it's not good to one night go to bed at 9, the next night go to bed at 3 in the morning. You've got to get on that internal clock. And, is that a problem? Do you go to bed at the same time every night? Kind of, how do you do that, man?
I'd say within probably an hour period, I'm in bed. What
time are you normally in bed by?
Probably about 11:30.
That's pretty good, man. That's really good. Yeah. See, it's like the nights I lay down at 9 o'clock, I'm like, yes, man, this is great. But then in the back of my mind, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, well, when it's fall again and I'm broadcasting football, I won't be going to bed at 9. I'll be going to bed at 1 in the morning. And then when I'm on the road with Sam Houston, that's the deal in college sports is you may go a couple of days early to a game. For instance, when Sam Houston played up in North Dakota, okay, follow me on this. We played in North Dakota. It was a Saturday game. We flew in on Thursday, so we stayed Thursday night, Friday night. So you get all that rest. You want your players to be relaxed. But then the problem is as soon as the game is over Saturday, you're on the plane heading back home. Well, when you're on the plane heading back home Saturday from North Dakota – and you're landing in College Station, Texas, that's an hour drive back the other way to Huntsville. Then you've got to come all the way back. Now, for me, I park my car at College Station, because I didn't want to go an hour out of the way, of course, to Huntsville and then come all the way an hour back, if you get what I'm saying. But, man, we landed. There were some games, John. I remember one game specifically. I remember I remember specifically the time I got home. I don't remember specifically the game, but, man, we got in. I want to say that we got into Huntsville. We bussed, and so we bussed to Louisiana. We came back on that bus, got into Huntsville. I want to say, and Matt's on the stream this morning, so maybe he can remember which game that was. I think it was McNeese. But we came in, got in, I think, around 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning at Huntsville, and I did not get back to Georgetown until almost 5 a.m. And, dude, that is scary driving that late. When you're that tired, I said, I'll never do that again, man, because there's like 30 minutes of driving that I don't remember. That's when you put
autopilot.
Yeah, it's autopilot, man. That's when you put that song on, Jesus, take the wheel, and you just, and then you wake up and you're like, man, I made it home. So I'm not going to do that next year. I'm going to make sure that everything's good. But that's just how things go, man. You don't know what's up. So I get nervous about trying to set that internal clock or set that clock because I know that when the fall comes around, it's going to change again. As far as what time I have to go to sleep, there's not a whole lot of consistency with that. But I don't know. I've never been able to find out really, other than just trying to force yourself to have some sort of self-discipline to get into that rhythm of going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time. My wake-up times right now, John, have been altered because my dog, Fletcher is 2004. Fletcher's 16 now. I've been blessed. All my dogs have always lived to be really old in doggy years. What is it, times 7 is what they say?
Yeah, I think so.
So if he's, let's do a little quick math here on Fletcher. 16 times 7. Yeah, he's 112 years old, man. He's about to set the Guinness World Book of Records for humans. I think he's got another 10 years to go. But the deal is he's got I was going to say he has Alzheimer's. He doesn't have Alzheimer's. He has arthritis in his back legs. And some dogs, when they get older, bigger dogs especially, they get arthritis in their back legs. And so there's days where he's up hopping around and he's moving pretty good. And then there's other days where he just has a really hard time getting up. Like he can move his front paws, but his back legs don't work that well sometimes. And at my house, I have an add-on room. And he used to jump. I leave that door open to that add-on room. It's kind of like the dog house. It's a luxury dog house for the dogs, or for him. And I leave that back door open so he would come and go as he wishes. I never put a doggy door in, so I just left that door open. And he used to jump right back in. Well, now he can't jump back in. Even though I put a ramp there, he doesn't like using it. So what does he do? He walks up, and I'm trying to describe this for you. There's a ledge, I would say about maybe 1.5 feet that he's got to jump up to. And even with steps there, he won't do it. So I put a ramp, and he doesn't do it. And so what'll happen, if I let him in I'll let him in at night usually now, and we'll feed him, and he's good to go for the night about 10 o'clock at night. But here's the deal. If I forget to close that back door, during the middle of the night, he will go out to use the restroom, to go potty. That's what we always say in dog, to go potty. He'll go out to go potty. He needs to go potty. So you got to talk to dogs like little kids, John. He's got to go potty. And so,
but he's 112.
He's 112. Yeah, so you got to help him. He's got to help him go potty. And I get, and if he's in the room, he's fine until the morning. But sometimes I'll leave that door open. Like last night, we left it open. And what happened? 3 a.m., he's barking, wanting back in the back room. And he barks because he can't jump up anymore. And he knows that I will come pick him up and help him back in. So I'm taking care of my elderly pup, having to pick him up every morning if I don't close that door. So that woke me up, messed up my sleep. I'm a light sleeper, dude. You come in and you do a golf clap and I'll wake up.
Yeah, I'm a pretty light sleeper too. I mean, my fiance gets up in the middle of the night and sometimes it wakes me up. Sometimes she just doesn't get up because it's 5 a.m. or something like that, and she didn't want to wake me up and keep me up for the rest of the morning.
Yeah, it's yeah. So Matt was telling me it was Central Yeah, there it is. The Central Arkansas game. That was the one that we got back at 6 in the morning. That is right. Oh my gosh, I remember that game. The 6-8. That game I stayed in Huntsville, John. There was no way that I was going to drive back to Georgetown after getting in at 6 a.m. because that would have put me at home at about 9 in the morning. I remember
Were
that.
you able to sleep on the bus?
Dude, I can't sleep on the buses or planes. Can you?
Oh, absolutely.
How, man?
Like this.
John's laying his head to his shoulder for those listening on audio. I don't understand how you do it, man. I have one of those pillows, but I don't know, man. I guess I'm tall. I'm 6. I'm almost 6'3". How tall are you, man?
Why you gotta bring that up? I'm 5'9".
5'9". Yeah, that's all right, man. But it's I guess for me, because I'm taller, man. I just cannot sleep on a plane. You 5'9" guys got it easy. You know, you can just fall asleep. Not me. I can't get comfortable. My knees are all like up in my gut. And then I don't even want to talk to you about trying to go to the bathroom on a plane at 6'3". And how do the NBA guys do it? Do they got like I know that they've got modified planes, some of them. Like the Miami Heat's got their own personal jet. You know, I saw that back in the day. Huge recliners. I mean, Shaq looked like he took up the whole plane when he was there with the Heat. But how on earth, if you're an NBA player and you didn't have that special customized plane, how on earth would you go to the bathroom on a plane? Do you even go? Or do you just kind of learn to hold it?
You go before you get on.
Oh, man.
The coach is asking all the players, like your mom asked you before you get in the car, you got to go to the bathroom? You know, it's like, everybody go.
Did you bring your cups? No, I'm just kidding, man. We don't go there, you know. Oh, my goodness. I just don't get it. Hey, going back here. I know that I'm ADD, so the show's ADD. We're going to rename Good Morning Georgetown to ADD Show every morning. Good morning from ADD. How many high schools, John, in the state of Texas? You want to take a guess real quick, just a guess on your end? I would have not guessed this.
1,500.
That's about what I would have thought, right? 1,500. There are over 3,200 high schools in the state of Texas.
Wow.
3,240, according to high-schools.com. I just said high. I'm just look, for those of you that are Colorado fans, it's your day today. Let's just say that. It's your day today. If you're a Colorado fan, if you know what I mean, John, you know, if you're into that, it's your day today. And it's even funnier because it's 4/20/20.
Right.
Oh, man. One of those fun days. There are 3,240 high schools in Texas, made up of 2,813 public schools and 427 private schools. Texas ranks as the second state in terms of student enrollment and second in terms of total number of schools. It ranks 35th, and that's not good. It ranks 35th for the student-teacher ratio. I wouldn't have thought that, but I guess so, because when I was in high school, I seem to remember like we had 30 kids in each class. What was it? Do you remember what it was for you?
I was in Kansas, and I have no idea. It's maybe 25.
Man. Yeah, I remember we had about 30, but the teachers, I mean, they still had an opportunity. I know it was tough on them. John, are you going to be able to hold on for a little bit? I know you may have a battery problem going on.
Yeah, I have my iPad, and I put it on the charger last night, but I guess the charger didn't cooperate, and I'm down to 10%, so... you may have to take it over to A1 Smartphone and Tablet Repair or Longhorn Mac Repair. Both those guys sponsors on HRN. So go see Chris or Mandy or Patrick. I think I might just need a new cable.
Yeah. What's cool, I went over to A1, man. I was there, and I never knew this. You'd be surprised at how many, I guess, like there's some little chip on the Apple products, and Chris knows more about it than me. He's extremely technical on this stuff. Patrick over at Longhorn may know a little bit about this as well, but if you use like the off-brand chargers or just different chargers than what you're supposed to, sometimes it can burn up that chip, that charging chip. I had no idea. Like Chris is showing me, I want to do a live show. Of course, once we get back to getting out in public, I want to start doing live shows at different venues. Like I'd love to do a live show there from Robert's Printing or from the Poker Club. I think that'd be really cool. You know, we talked about, in fact, before we got shut down, John, we were going to have Good Morning Georgetown at the Poker Club. Come on. Then we got shut down.
Yeah, this has shut down everything. It's a crazy time that we live in. I think obviously we'll all remember this one forever.
It's one of those days you're one of those times. You know, you're right. You remember where you were at. A lot of folks joining us on the Facebook live stream here this morning, and I had them pulled up, and now it all went away. See, the new Facebook, they have this new streaming platform, and it does not show me who connects unless I use the old platform. I'm going to go over a few of these. I always like to say hello. Nancy Zinner, good morning to you, Nancy. You and Pete, I hope you're doing okay. Sabrina Bryant, good morning. Do you know Sabrina, John?
I've heard about her.
It's a smile of Georgetown right there at Roberts Printing. Hey, if you need a smile, once we get back to being around people, if you need a smile, go see the Smile of Georgetown at Roberts Printing. She'd love to see you. I know she would. Sabrina's amazing. We love you, Sabrina. Gabby Schultz joining. Good morning to you, Gabby. I hope you're doing well this morning. Joshua Harris of the Oak Ridge Disciple House, one of our sponsors here on HRN. Appreciate you, Josh. Stephen Giorgio, good morning, Stephen. Joshua Harris telling us good morning from all of us at Oak Ridge. Bubba Vidier, Tim Constantine, good morning, Tim. Carly Pilgrim saying hello and good morning. Good morning to you. Laura Benner, what is going on, Laura? I hope you are doing wonderful today. Ashlyn Kelso joining us. Michael Price. Michael, I'm disappointed, though. You didn't say morning lads. You just said morning. So I feel a little bit sad. I get, John, when you see the phrases every morning, it's like when you go through Chick-fil-A and they say my pleasure. And then they don't say my pleasure that one time. You're like, what the heck, man? I drove all the way here for you to say my pleasure, and you didn't say it.
He gypped you.
I went through there a while back, and the young lady at the line, I said, thank you. And she didn't say, she goes, you're welcome. And it just felt like somebody was cussing. It was, you know what I'm saying? I was ready for like, my pleasure. And it was like, you're welcome. It just did not sound right at all. Jose Franco, good morning to you, brother. Hope you're doing okay. Janet Woodside, good morning, Janet. Tanil Amon joining us. My dad joining us. Good morning, Dad. Love you. My sister, it was really cool. My sister went to see my dad is in a nursing facility up in Temple, and my sister went to go see him, but of course you can't go in, so she took a picture with her hand and my dad's hand on the glass. That was really moving, man. And my dad got a picture from the inside of where he was at, too, so there's two different views, like my sister on the outside, my dad on the inside.
Oh, cool.
My dad just got on Facebook here pretty recently, too, and my dad can pick up technology, like, really fast. He doesn't think that he does, but he does. And so from no Facebook a week ago to now on Facebook live stream, listening to us every morning, uploading pictures. You're doing good, Dad. Carly Pilgrim saying good morning. Christine Alexander. Stephen Giorgio. He said, here's what Stephen said. How many of you skipped classes when you were a senior? Hey, I'm going to raise my hand. I did. Miss Woodley, if you're watching, you probably knew that I did. I got in trouble a few times. Stephen said, I'll never forget that great It's so true. I can't do it without laughing, John. I'll never forget that great feeling of skipping classes almost every day the last few months of my senior year. I wish these kids got that experience.
They did.
They did unintentionally, yeah.
They did it way better. They just didn't have to go at all.
Oh, man. That is, golly. You know, it's funny, Stephen, because I know that feeling. Well, I was in a computer maintenance class. Meredith Kemple was the teacher's name. Super awesome lady, man. Miss Kemple was just great. And that computer maintenance class was fun. And the problem was in a computer maintenance class, John, it was like the basic intro to computer hardware and stuff. Well, everybody who was in that class pretty much already knew all that stuff. Everybody joined it just to have like a cool class, you know? It's one of those classes you join, like if you already know the class, you just join it to be in the class to have it easy, I guess. And
yeah,
so
just kind of an easy A class.
Yeah, and so in that computer maintenance class, we got in some trouble though. But we got in the habit of just like not even showing up sometimes. And I specifically remember one morning, and I won't say who, but me and two other guys. This guy had a Toyota Corolla. It was like this decked out leather. Like I'm talking the high end. If you can get a high end on a Corolla, you got the high end Corolla in this one, man. It had a nice little moon roof. I try to make.
I say you go ahead and say who it was. Go ahead and call him out.
Yeah, it's Sean Lafferty. He had this really cool this cool Corolla. I remember, and after riding in that car, I was like, "God, I wish I had that car." But for whatever reason, one morning we just decided, he and my buddy Patrick, we decided just to go. Sean was like, "Let's go," and we got in his car and we drove to Westlake Hills. And we drove up to where Michael Dell's house. I guess it's still there, but we drove up to the gate where Michael Dell's house was. I can't remember if we rang the bell or not, but that was kind of fun, you know. And I just remember this sense of I'm supposed to be in class, but we're like in Westlake Hills at Michael Dell's driveway at the entrance to his house. What are we doing? We had a lot of fun back in the day. Appreciate you, Steve. Craig Way joining us. Good morning to you, Craig. Hope everything in your world is going all right, man. I know that you're missing broadcasting sports as well. Craig is a tremendous broadcaster, of course, for UT and just does a wonderful job with the Longhorns. And I've learned a lot from – I haven't talked to Craig a whole lot, but I've learned a lot from him just listening to him over the years. Harold Mann joining us, voice of the Lamar Cardinals. Good morning to you, Harold. I hope you're doing okay, man. Matt McRobert joins us. We talked to him earlier. Jason Worth saying good morning. Got a few more here, John. Dave Snowberger, Lee Ortiz over Climate Control Pros. Good morning, Lee. When you need an AC Pro, call your bro at Climate Control Pros. John Mark Liddell joining us. Good morning, John. John Liddell. Good to see. Good morning, John. John's dad, Carl Liddell, was here in Georgetown in this area, Jonah, for so many years. And I got to tell you, John, if you're still listening, your dad made a huge impact on me. When I first joined Rotary Club, I used to sit with Mr. Liddell there at the Rotary meetings. And, in fact, he gave my mom a plant years ago because my dad used to work for the city. He also worked for the county. But Mr. Liddell gave my dad a plant from his garden. He had a little a garden of something. But anyways, gave my dad a plant. My mom has the greenest thumb of anybody I've ever met in my life, and she still has that plant. It's some sort of a – I don't want to say – I don't – it's like a cactus thing. It's a cactus thing. But Mr. Liddell gave that to my dad. My dad gave it to my mom, and she still has that plant. So good morning to you, John. I miss your dad. He was a good man. I really miss talking to him. Always full of energy and just had a lot of knowledge, man. Awesome, awesome guy. I talked about my mom, John, having this green thumb. There's still plants in our family. Like, you know, you have heirlooms in your family. We have plant heirlooms in our family. You think I'm not joking. We have plants that go back to, like, my great-grandma.
Wow.
My mom has kept them alive. And I don't want that responsibility one day because, dude, I do not have a green thumb.
I was about to ask how you were with plants.
Do not know. Edward Steele joining us. Good morning, Edward. Hey, I'm listening to your podcast. I love it. He's got a music podcast. It's a lot of fun. Albert Padilla of the Georgetown Beard Club. Matt McRobert saying he is still here in Texas. Can't get home to Australia to see his folks. I'm sorry about that, brother. Frank Miranda joining us. Blake Brennan, my brother-in-law. What's up, Blake? Got a few more here. Jeremy Pate. Tom McKay, one of our sponsors here on HRN of Audio Visual Consultations. Appreciate you, Tom. And, in fact, we will have Tom on this show on Wednesday morning, so you want to make sure to join us. Chad Mayfield, Carolyn Martin over at Georgetown Antique Mall, Marianne Taft. Good morning to you, Carolyn, by the way. Marianne Taft, my neighbor down the street. Good morning, Marianne. Also grew up in church with Marianne. Nice, awesome family and a great lady. Chris LaForge joining us. Good morning to you, brother. Benji Donaldson, Morgan Stonefield. Oh, hey, John, Sabrina's saying that she loves us.
Oh, we love her too.
We love you.
You know what? I think one Monday when I couldn't be here, I'm just going to have her sub in for me as the guest host.
Oh, you should. She would do great. Would you do that, Sabrina? Could you please? You would be fantastic. And you know you're going to be laughing and smiling, and we need that on this show. Michael Price saying he's going to holler at you later. Holla! Holla at you later. And then a couple more.
We're working on some stuff for him. It's gonna be pretty big.
Awesome. We're gonna, we're not gonna talk about it, but I think there's some really cool stuff he's doing, and so we're gonna have him on the show to reveal that one day. Christy Mangum joining us. Good morning, Christy. I'm gonna have Christy's husband, Jeff, on our show on Thursday, and I'm very excited. But Jeff is an extremely busy dude, but I'm gonna catch him before tornado season starts because I know he's about to get real busy. Jeff is a professional tornado chaser, a professional storm chaser. We'll talk more about him on Thursday, but go to his YouTube channel, Tornado Trackers. I believe he's got over like 250,000 subscribers. One video, in fact, has over 45 million views of a Category 5 hurricane that they tracked. And so I'm excited to have Jeff on because I just wanted to talk about his adventures. I remember when I was in youth group, way back in the day, and I want to say I was in high school, like 10th grade, sophomore in high school, and Jeff always told me, he's like, man, it'd be so cool to chase tornadoes. And now he's doing it professionally. So we're going to talk to him. Scott Stout, good morning to you, my friend. Hope you and your wife are doing amazing to start this week, and then also Edwin Muniz joining us. Time now, 8:45 here on Good Morning Georgetown. It is your hometown station, Hip Radio Network Georgetown, as we've been talking this morning with John Montgomery of Roberts Printing Company. John, give us a little bit of a business update. I always, of course, like to ask my co-host, but give us a little bit of a business update. How are things going for you, man, and how are you holding up through all of this?
We're hanging on, just kind of doing production as needed. I've been working every morning doing signs and stuff like that. A lot of businesses are wanting banners for their new hours or new pickup options. Just got a order from Catfish Parlor for some banners saying, they're open, that kind of thing. And we're doing pickups and drop-offs from 9 to 11 in the morning. My production guys are coming in as needed, maybe 1 or 2 days a week, just trying to keep them busy and, try to hang on during all this.
Well, we're still working, you and I, of course, and others helping out with that effort now to raise funds for businesses that may have not been under the category to receive any type of grant money. Many businesses have, many have not. And so we want to kind of fill. That's the thing, John, is there's no way to really kind of help out every single person. And so what do? Well, what you do is if you're involved in a community, such as us having this platform, you try to fill holes. And I encourage everybody that has the resources to look for the gaps and help fill those gaps wherever you can. A lot of people need help, and not just one organization or one person can fill those gaps. So what we're doing here at HRN to help businesses who are struggling during COVID-19, maybe a little bit of financial support. There's some companies out there that need it, and maybe they didn't qualify for other grants for whatever reason. And I don't want to put down organizations. I don't want to put down any other businesses that sound like I just hit puberty again. Businesses. I don't want to put down any other businesses that may have received grant funding because, again, there's certain criteria and certain things that need to be met. But what we can do, you can either sit on the sidelines and complain, or you can get involved and do something or try to do something. Look, I know many people are struggling. I'm not talking about you guys that are struggling. I'm talking about folks that have the means to get something going. Use this time right. There's never been a better time. That's a phrase that I say a lot, but it's true. There has never been a better time to work on your business than right now. And if you're not working on your business right now, then you may not be able to come out of this okay. This is the perfect opportunity to work on your business and for things to materialize and grow. And I understand you got to have resources. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. So when I talk about you've got to have resources, here's what I mean. We are trying to fill the gaps. And for those of you that, you're trying to work on your business, but you're saying, look, I need some financial assistance. I don't know how much we're going to be able to provide. But I do know this, is that we're working hard here on HRN with an online auction that we'll be launching in May to help out businesses in our community that need some help. And what I want to say is if you are a business that needs help, fill out our form at hrngeorgetown.com/support. That is hrngeorgetown.com/support. We want to help you. Okay, look, I understand this is a way that if you're on the sidelines right now, and this is what I'm talking about. If you're on the sidelines, you're like, man, things aren't going my way. Here's an opportunity for you to get involved. I've seen a lot of people post on Facebook saying, well, I didn't receive grant money. And I understand that's frustrating. I mean, I'm not even in the city, so I can't even receive grant money. But there's many of you who are. The thing is, use our form. There's folks out there like us and many others trying to help you. I've probably seen 15 or 20 businesses stating that they didn't receive funds, but they haven't filled out our form. I'm not doing it to data mine or collect your information. We're trying to help you. That's what I'm talking about. Here's another opportunity. If you'd like to help out during this auction, you can donate items very easily. Go to hrngeorgetown.com/auction. It's hrngeorgetown.com/auction. John, we've got some pretty cool items, man. I picked up a few. I left one of them there, though. I need to come by and get that. I left the COVID-19 kit over there, man.
Yeah, from Melaleuca, yeah.
I left that one, I'm going to go pick it up. We didn't forget about you, Trixie. Thank you for that, by the way. But there's a lot of items, but we need a lot more. I think we're at about 20 items right now. I'm hoping to get about 50 or so items, John, because you've got to have a diversification in items to have a successful auction. And we've got some really cool items such as Mesquite Creek, and appreciate Cody Hurt and those guys donating a 1-year full membership to Mesquite Creek. Hey, man, if you like to drink a couple of beers a day, well, guess what? Now your beers are going to be pretty much free. All you got to do is win the $250 membership. You go get 2 beers a day for free at Mesquite Creek. Of course, you got to win the item. You got to pay for the item. So, again, if you can help out in that capacity, I just want to encourage you, please help in that capacity. If you're a business who's able to help, maybe you need help, but you also want to help, there's plenty of opportunities, and we're going to get that rolling coming up in May. I wanted to give a special thank you to Rachel Hancock, John, over at Something Social. She is donating the courthouse watercolor to our auction.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So we appreciate Rachel doing that, and that is going to be cool. She reached out to me and said, hey, I want to help. Can I donate the watercolor that she's done? She's done such a fantastic job with those. In fact, had an article in the paper on Sunday in the Williamson County Sun. Those are ways that you can help out. And I just want to encourage you right now, if you're on the sidelines or maybe you're frustrated, look, I get it, but get involved. The best way to get over being frustrated is to get involved. Trust me, I've been there. I've done it. I've been worked up. I've been fed up. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do something. And when you do something, you forget about it. And all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is really cool. And it's fun. And I'm able to do something that's really great. And it's going to benefit you as well. It's not why we do it. We don't do it to benefit ourselves. We do it to help others. But I'm going to tell you right now that in some way, shape, or form, it will come back to you. And it's just having that gratitude and understanding that we're here to help each other, John. And you, John, you've always stepped up and helped others, man. And I appreciate you. Whenever I talked about wanting to do this auction, you were like, hey, man, I'd love to help with that. And I appreciate that, because that's what we're here for, man. You know, at the end of the day, when we're gone from this earth, all that's really going to matter is really what's going to last. It's not going to be finances. I mean, for some, yeah, it's going to last a few generations. Don't get me wrong. But what's really going to mean more than anything else in this world is that legacy that you left. And what is that legacy? And I think the legacy of helping others and giving back, you know, is very important. For me as a Christian, it's I want people to know me for my relationship with Christ. But for those that aren't believers or those others, look, you can always say this, and it's second to me, is that I want my legacy to be that I had an ability to help others, and we're going to figure out how to do that. John, that's so important, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you also mentioned, you know, the auction and doing all that. But I think right now, immediately what we can do is support the businesses that are open right now. And you have a list on that. And also businesses, whether they're a sponsor or not, can add their name to the list. Can you give information about that?
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up, man. We've had a lot of folks reach out. Good morning to you. Stephen Vasquez joining us as well. Appreciate you, brother. Good to hear from you this morning. We have had a lot of businesses reaching out since that started to gain some momentum. And if you are a business who is open, John, I think you hit the nail on the head. You just said, look, one way that you can help out right now, if you want to help out, is go support businesses who are open. Michelle at Schloshki's. Dude, I go by Schloshki's, and there's cars lining up at that bad boy. I love seeing that, because Michelle's been in this community. She's been here pretty much her whole life. She went to high school here. She started that working at that Schloshki's in 97, eventually took on the role of management, and now is the owner, of course, and she gives back to the community. She's open. And people are lining up to go see Michelle. That's ways, as John just said, that you can get involved right now, is helping those businesses that are open. We've had a lot of them that have submitted their information. If you are a business in Georgetown and you want folks to know that you are open, all you got to do is go to hrngeorgetown.com/open. That is hrngeorgetown.com/open, and fill out your information. I've put together on our website, and I'm happy with how it turned out, because I think it looks, and I'm not just saying it because I did it, it looks professional. And I've categorized the businesses, all of those that are open. And we've got about 39 businesses, John, who have submitted information now to that, which is awesome. Now, there's a lot more than 39 that are open.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, we definitely need some more to submit that they're open. Just get out there to let people know that you are open.
Now, I say this on here, look, I don't want to downplay what our sponsors do for this station, because our sponsors are the ones who bring the revenue that keeps this station going, and we sincerely appreciate that. So when you go to that list at hrngeorgetown.com/open, there are stars next to the sponsors, and they're listed at the top of the categories. And so while everybody needs help, especially consider helping our sponsors because they are going the extra mile, John. They're saying, look, I know that right now is the perfect time to continue my advertising, and they're doing that. And so we want to make sure that they're taken care of as well because they're helping us, and we want to help them. I'm going to quickly read these lists. It's going to take literally 2 minutes. Gary Brown CPA is open. Audiovisual Consultations, they're a sponsor. Tom McKay, he's open. He'll be on the show Wednesday, John. Or Tom. Tom will be on the show Wednesday. That's what I meant to say. A1 Smartphone and Tablet Repair. They're one of our sponsors. They are open. Longhorn Mac Repair, one of our sponsors. They are open. Edward Jones, Michelle Marshall. Mill Direct Carpet and Flooring, one of our sponsors. Jim is open. Go see him. If you need flooring, hey, there's a lot of – look, you got time. You've been at home. You've got some time to do some house projects. If you want your carpet or flooring done, go see Jim. 600 Degrees Marketplace is open. Catfish Parlor open. HTO, Louisiana Crab Shack, Mikey V's Hot Sauce Shop, our good friends at Mariachis de Jalisco, Connie over at Rio Bravo Mexican Cafe, where John's getting the breakfast tacos. He loves them.
It's already gone. Already ate it.
Did you go there today?
Of course.
Oh, man, they're so good. Agna Health Direct Primary Care, one of our great sponsors here, Dr. Wynn, he's open. Better Coverage with Bolton. Holistic Wellness and Primary Care. Stephanie Robbins, Certified Health Coach. Got a few more here. Climate Control Pros, that's Lee Ortiz, one of our sponsors. He's open. Appreciate you, Lee. Also, Express HVAC Service is open. That's Tim Burgess. Appreciate you, and thanks for being one of our sponsors. Georgetown Air Conditioning and Heating is open. Eisenhower Insurance, our first sponsor here on HR, our very first founding sponsor, Susan Eisenhower, an independent insurance agent that specializes in affordable private health insurance. She is open. Please take care of Susan. Program Insurance Group, they are open. That's business and residential commercial insurance as well. Appreciate Kyle Hepp, one of our sponsors. Doug Groves. Stephanie Featherstone at State Farm is open. Benchmark Mortgage. Got a few more here. Pupology, Tailwagon's Dog Bakery, Zoot Pet Hospital, GTX Plumbing, our good friend Richard De La Vega, another sponsor here with ASA Imagery, does some amazing aerial photography and also now virtual tours, asaimagery.com. Go check out his photos. He's awesome. Annette Montgomery, also one of our founding sponsors. She was our number 2 sponsor that got started with us. With Wolf Real Estate, leasing and home sales. Appreciate you, Annette. Thank you so much for what you do. She specializes in Old Town. Kathy Daniel, realtor with J. Paul Aubin Real Estate. Rob the realtor at 316. Just a few more here, John. Hometown Roofing Pros, that's a new sponsor. Ann Corso, Gary Brown. They're providing free inspections right now, working with homeowners insurance to replace their roof and everything that you need. They handle it all, and they do it legitimately. Check them out, Hometown Roofing, if you need a new roof. They're a sponsor. Texas Traditions Roofing. Cruise Planners, Jill Franks. How many know the vacation industry right now? Boy, they could really use your help. A Step Ahead Investigations, GTX Awards, Safe Select Home and Commercial, Surface Pros, and the Smoke Shop at One Love. Those are all the businesses that have reached out to me, John, saying, hey, we're open and we want folks to know that. A lot of great companies. If you've got a business and you want us to know that you're open, and we may mention your name on here a couple of times a week, just like I did, feel free to fill out that form at hrngeorgetown.com/open. John, I've had people message me privately on Facebook. I've had people comment. I said, look, I appreciate that, but if you don't fill out the form, I'm not going to get it on the website. It's got to be on the form. And I just have to be strict with that because we have a million different ways to contact people nowadays. And if you want to be on the form, I will not add it if you send me a comment. Add it to the form. That's the easiest way, and it just saves me a headache.
Yeah, I think just for the added value you're given, they need to take the step and take action and do that themselves.
Yep. So that's all that we ask. hrngeorgetown.com/open. Let us know that you're open. John, you got a few more. What are you at? Are you about 2% or are you at 1%?
I think I'm about 2%. I just looked a second ago. It was at 3%. So I'm going to guess 2% now.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, did you hear anything about that thing they're doing at like 7 or 8 at night? Everybody goes out on their porch and makes noise and hoots and hollers for first responders and the healthcare industry.
No, I did not. What is this?
there's somebody posted in my neighborhood group about it. I think at like 8:00, you go outside and everybody like bangs on pans or ring bells or sings or whatever. And it's to show your support for the frontline workers for like healthcare and stuff.
That's awesome, man. Yeah.
Have to look more into that one.
I know that St. David's has been having a nightly parade there in Round Rock. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I've not.
Really cool, and maybe we can get them to talk about that sometime. I don't know if they're still doing it, but yeah, they've been having a nightly parade there at St. David's, which is really cool. So honoring all of those heroes and everything. Well, John, we're about to get rolling here. I know we didn't get to talk about a lot of news this morning. It's just I don't want to just downplay anything that's really important, but man, it's kind of been the same deal, with this whole COVID-19 and everything else that's going on. Really quick before I let you go, though, I do want to take a look. We do this every show, and if I didn't do it, I'd be missing out. We always go over what national day it is today, John. All right. Oh man, if you're trying to lose weight like me and stay on that train, you're going to be in trouble, because you know what today is? It is National Cheddar Fries Day.
Cheddar Fries Day.
Oh man, it's also National Lima Bean Respect Day. That's really weird.
Yeah, I don't know why you respect the lima bean, but okay.
National Lookalike Day. Do you know who your lookalike is, John? Have you ever looked into that?
Right now, it's got to be some sort of mountain man somewhere.
Hey, I'm glad you kind of look like the brawny guy right now.
Oh yeah,
yeah, dude.
Hey, your beard's coming in. That's what, 5 years in the making.
Yeah, about 5.5. Patches. You used to call me Patches because I had little patches here and there. Yeah,
I got my apocalypse beard going.
Keep it going, man. Brawny, man. I'm going to go buy some paper towel. Forget toilet paper. I'm going to buy paper towels now. John Montgomery, Brawny, man. Also, the last today is also the National Pineapple Upside Down Cake Day, and I never have liked those things.
Oh, I'm all in.
I'll take my Spam, and you take your pineapple upside down cake. Okay, sound fair?
Deal.
Awesome. Now, if somebody paid me $100 on this show, if somebody said, "Hey, Rob, I'll give you $100," I will mix Spam with a pineapple upside down cake and eat it here live on the show. It's going to take $100 to do that, though. But I really would. I'd mix it up and I'd eat it. I'd grind it together in a blender and I'd eat it with a spoon.
I don't know what to say about that.
Well, John, appreciate you, man. How can people get in touch with you? I just want to give you an opportunity to one more time to mention Robert's Printing. How can people get in touch, and what are you doing to help out right now, man, before we go, brother?
Well, like I said, we're here in the morning, so if they come up, the doors are locked, so the lobby's closed, so just knock, and we'll come out, or just email me directly at sales@robertsprintingtx.com.
Awesome. Well, John, always appreciate you, man. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day, and we will be in touch, of course, this week, but already looking forward to having you back on next week. And ask Sabrina if she'll do the show. If you're not able, let's get her on. I'd love to have her as well, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, John, have a great day, and thank you to everybody on our Facebook stream as we got John out of here before his iPad retired. 1%. 1%. There it goes. There it goes right there. So we got John out of here before his iPad decided to retire on us today. So, well, friends, as always, thank you for being a part of this show. It is truly a joy and a privilege to bring you Good Morning Georgetown every morning here on Hip Radio Network. Georgetown, your hometown station. If you don't have the app, download it at Hip Radio Network. You can download it really easy. Just go to your Google Play or your iOS App Store, search for Hip Radio Network, and you'll stay up to date with everything that's going on. Stocks opening on a big drop this morning. There's been more news about the oil industry and them trying to cut back even more as gas prices continue to plunge. The Dow opening up this morning just under 400 points. So we'll see how that goes. It's been a very volatile market. Things have been up and down. If you've got money in your retirement accounts, look, I'm not an investor, just my opinion, but I would just say keep things where they are. Things will rebound. But, of course, it's going to take some time. Friends, come back tomorrow morning. We'll have James Chapman talking about his new show that's launching here tomorrow night on HRN. It's called Transformation U. It's an opportunity for some hope and encouragement, also an opportunity for you to transform your life and provide a little bit of inspiration. I'm very excited to have that show joining us James will be on Tuesdays, Thursdays at 7 p.m. You can also catch him right here on HRN on Sundays at 1 p.m. As I end every single broadcast, friends, reminding you this morning, when we got the spaceman behind us today, love the backdrop here this morning, reminding you today that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there this morning needs you. Good morning, Georgetown. God bless you. We'll be back tomorrow right here on HRN Georgetown. It's Georgetown's hometown radio station. Have a great, wonderful Monday, friends. God bless you.